What's up guys, hope you're fine. Welcome to the part 8 of the project, and my name is Arfan, and today we are going to create the navigation menu of our project. So here is the simple navigation menu. As you can see that here is our hamburger menu. If I click that, I have this nice menu, as you can see that. And also we will have this nice interesting hover effect. As you can see that whenever I will hover one of the nav item, it will actually create this, as you can see that, create this sort of outline effect that we can see in the right side of the navigation content, which is actually looking really nice for me, and I really like that. So that's gonna be one of the most interesting part of this project, and we will do a lots of things there. And also we will make this whole navigation menu responsive. So whenever I'll go to the mobile device, the navigation menu will change and it will look like something like that. As you can see that, really simple, and still it's looking really nice. So yeah, that's what we are going to make in this project. I hope you guys will like it. Also, if you wanna get some interesting tips and tricks about web design and development, you can follow us on Instagram. The handle is instagram.com/web_CIFAR. Also, if you face any kind of problem with this tutorial, you can join our Facebook community group. We have a great and helpful community, and you can post your problem there. So with that saying, let's get started. So let's create the navigation bar or the hamburger menu that you can see here. So this is the hamburger menu that we are going to create right now. So here let's go to our project, and in the top of our body, so inside the body, let's create the comments for our navigation. So let's say that navigation section, and this will be end of navigation section, and between that I will have my HTML for the navigation. So we are in the top of our body, and we are going to create the navigation here. So let's create a section first of all, and with the ID of navigation. So navigation, and inside that I will have a div with a class of not container this time. It will be nav icon. So basically we will have an icon for that. So this is the icon. So we can actually grab the icon from heroicons.com. And if I come here in the heroicons.com, if I search for menu, I can see the bar. As you can see, the menu bar here. So this will be the icon for our menu bar. So copy the SVG from here and paste it inside of my nav icon. So we should have the SVG. So after that, actually let's create the nav content. So it will be outside of our navigation. So this is navigation. Outside of our navigation, let's create a section with the ID of nav content, and inside that I will have a div with a class of close button. So close button, and here we will have our close button. And if I come here in the end project, this is the button that I'm talking about. So let's actually get the SVG for this close button. So let's go back to our heroicons.com and search for close, and this is the icon that we are going to use. So copy the SVG from here and paste it inside of my close button div. So now we have our close button inside of my nav content. So after this close button div, let's actually create a div with a class of wrapper, and inside that I will have my h2 with the class of section heading. So section heading, and I should say the menu will be the text. If I save, I should see my menu text, as you can see that. And also let's say that I wanna have a outline here. So data outline will be the menu, and I can see the outline behind that. So great. And after that, let's actually create the navigation item that you can see here. So let's create those navigation item. So after this h2, let's create a nav, and inside that we will have a UL, and inside that I will have my list item. And for the first one, let's get a link first of all, and here let's say that we will have the first item, which is home, or I think we should write something like that. And after that, let's actually do the second item, which will be the about, projects, and testimonials, and finally contact. So those are the nav item or nav links that we are going to have here. So let me actually leave a to do here. We need to link those thing before we finish the project. So link the nav items. Yeah, so let's actually keep it like that, and we will come back to this link later. So for now, we need to style this menu thing here. So let's go back to our style.css. So we need to go up here. I mean, after the global style, we should have our nav items style. So before the hero section, let's actually create the comments for navigation style, and here we'll have the navigation style. So first of all, in our ID of navigation, so navigation, we need to make it position fix here. So fix. So this navigation is actually the hamburger menu. So if you can see that this is the navigation that we are now styling. So inside that we have only the hamburger icon. So the main nav item is actually here, as you can see that inside of our nav content. So we need to make sure that which one we are working with. So here after that, let's also say that it will be from the right side 50 pixel, and from the top it will be 50 pixel. And if I save, I should see my content, but I can't see it, I think because the icon color is actually white. We will see it in a moment. And after that, let's also say that the height will be auto. So after that, also say that the z index will be 100. So the z index will be 100 because I want this navigation in the top of our everything. So that's why I need a higher z index. And after that, let's actually style the nav icon here. So navigation, and here the nav icon, and let's say that the width will be something like 50 pixel, and also height will be also 50 pixel, and we need to make a margin 0 auto so that it remains in the center, and margin right will be 0. So margin right 0, and after that cursor we want as a pointer, and background color we should have a primary background color. If I do a background color, I should see my content right now. So as you can see that that's the nav icon that we have here. After that, let's also say that I want to have a, I think I don't need this margin right 0 or margin bottom, I mean margin 0 auto things, because we can actually center this thing with display flex and align item center, and also let's say that justify content will be the center, and it will remain center inside of this bar, as you can see. Yeah, that's looking great. And as you can see that we need to change the width here. So if I come here in our SVG, as you can see that the stroke width actually 2, if I make it 1, and as you can see that now the stroke width of this SVG is actually 1, and it's looking good with this stroke width 1. And now I need to change the color of this SVG. So let's actually select the SVG here. So navigation, and inside that nav icon we have our SVG, and here the color we can use white. And also we need to make sure that width will be 80%. Now as you can see that the width is 80% and the color is white. So that's it for our nav icon. So now actually I style the nav content here. As you can see that this whole thing is actually nav content, this whole thing. So we need to style it right now. So let's actually do it here. So come back to our project here. So here let's say that nav content. First of all, let's say that the position will be fixed, because I want this nav icon or this nav content to remain fixed. As you can see that whenever I will scroll, it will remain in the top of our content. So that's why I want this nav content or nav icon position fixed. So after that, let's also say that the width will be 80% and the height will be 100% and the max width will be 800 pixel. So let me explain you what I'm saying here. I'm saying the max width 800 pixel and the width 80%. So what it means actually, if I come here in the end project, if I go to the large device, as you can see that we have this nav content which is actually having a width of 800 pixel. Means the maximum width of this nav content will be 800 pixel. But whenever I'll go to the small device, it will remain 80% width, as you can see. So whenever I'll go more small, so now as you can see that it's remaining 80% width. So that's how I'm controlling the width of this nav content in multiple devices using max width and the width. So after that, let's also say that z-index will be 100 and we want to have a background color here. So background color will be secondary black. So if I come back to my project, as you can see that I have my navigation content here, but it's not in the right place. I think it should be in the right side. So what I need actually, I need to make sure the right is 0 here. So now as you can see that it is in the right side, it's looking great. After that, let's also say that the color will be white here. Yeah, and after that align items will be center, and also before that I need to make sure that it is displaying as a flex, and justify content after that will be center, and overflow will be hidden. So overflow will be hidden here. I will explain why I am keeping the overflow hidden here. So after that, let's style this heading stuff here. So nav content dot section heading, and here let's say the text alignment will be left side, not center, and also say that I think we don't need to do anything else here. And after that, we need to actually style the outline behind this menu. If you can't see actually, it's actually now having a dark blue color or purple color. So we need to make it white color. So for that, I need to grab the pseudo elements for this one, because if you remember, we used pseudo element for this outline. So content dot section heading dot, or not dot, it's actually before, and we need to make sure that the color or the stroke color. So for that, we need to use WebKit text stroke will be 1.5 pixel, and the color will be, let me copy the color here. So now if you can see that now it's actually a little bit white color. I think now you can see the outline behind this menu text. Yeah, looking good. And after that, let's also say that the text alignment of this will be center, not center, left, because we changed the main heading left. So great. After that, let's also style the wrapper here. So here in the nav content, we need to select the wrapper here. So wrapper, and say that width will be 70% and position will be relative. Yeah, now as you can see that it is in the left side here, as you can see that, because we just changed the width of it. And after that, let's also go to our UL here. So nav content UL, and here let's say that list style will be none, and the text alignment will be the left, so we can't see the dot anymore. And after that, let's also style the li inside of this ul. So nav content ul li. Here I need to make a margin bottom to rem so that it can get separated. We can't see it, we need to change the color of the anchor tag. So let's grab the anchor tag here. So nav dash content, actually nav content here ul li anchor tag here, and display it as a inline block, and also say that the color will be white. So if I do that, I can see it. I need to change the width of it, so width will be 100%, and after that the font size will be 5 rem. Yeah, now those icons are visible, and we need to change the font family. So use Montserrat, and if you want, you can use sans serif as a fallback. Yeah, the links are looking great. And after that, we need to create this effect, which is the whenever I will hover one of my navigation item here, nav menu item, as you can see that the outline is actually here, which is looking good. So whenever I will hover one of the item, we will have the outline in the right side, if you can see that. So it's looking really nice, and I want that. So let's create the effect here. So we will create this outline with the sort element as we did before. So nav content ul li a after. So this sort element will have a content of we need to actually, let's say the test for now. We will actually come back to it later. So pointer event will be none, and after that the position of this one will be the absolute, and we can now position it as we want. So for now, let's say that right will be -150 pixel, and also let's say that the bottom will be 30% around that. So if I do that, I can't see it right now because we need to do some more thing here. So we need to say that the color will be transparent, and also we need to make the stroke width, which is this one that we have here. So copy that and paste it over here. And after that, also let's say that, so we need to hide it. So for that, I can just say that the opacity will be 0 so that we can't see it, but whenever I will hover one of them, we can see it after that. So after that, let's say that the z index will be -1 so that it remains under the main content, and text alignment will be center, and finally we need to rotate that. So transform rotate 90 degree, and scale will be 3. So I can't see it right now, and the problem is I think this should be inside of my, still I can't see it. So let me actually check it here. So this is the wrapper and nav icon ul li anchor tag. Okay, so I can't see my stored element right there because I did a mistake here, big mistake. Sorry for my bad spelling here. But here is our after, if you can see that here. So this is the after, but we can't see it here, I think because we have opacity of 0. Yeah, I can see it right now. So you can see that whenever I remove the opacity 0, I can see the test here, but it is not in the right place yet. So we need to do some width here. So after here, let's say that the width will be for this sort element 100%. Yeah, right now it's actually in place, I think. Yeah, that's it. As you can see that it's looking great and it's in the right place. And now what I need to do, actually I need to create the hover effect here. So let's actually remove it with the opacity. So right now we can't see it, and create the hover effect here. So nav content ul li anchor tag. So whenever I'll hover the anchor tag, I will actually change the after, and here I will just say that the opacity means I'll change the opacity from 0 to 1, and also I'll transform it. So transform scale 3, and also translate y 10 pixel. So each will go slightly upper. So rotate 90 degree. So once I do, whenever I'll hover, now as you can see that I can see it, but it's not having any kind of transition. So let's do some transition here. So let's say that transition will be 0.3 second and ease, and transition property will be opacity and the transform. So now whenever I will do, as you can see that it's having the transition right now, but everyone is actually having the same text, which is the test. Now it's time to change this one and make it dynamic. So for that I need to do, or I need to create a data attribute in my link here. So the data attribute that I'm going to use is actually inside of my anchor tag. So here inside of my anchor tag, let's say that data dash text will be home, or I can say something like that, home, and we need to do it for every link here. So do it here. So this one will be about, and do it here. So this one will be projects, and do it here, testimonials. And for the last one we need to do it same way, contact. So now we have this data attribute, means data dash text attribute, that we can use inside of our anchor tag sort element. So for that we need to actually say that the attribute that we are gonna use is actually data dash text. So here let's say that attribute will be data dash text. So if I save that, whenever I'll hover, as you can see that now I have the home, about, projects, testimonials, and the contact. So we have these effect, as you can see that perfectly, which is looking good. And finally let's also create the closing button here. So right now we don't have any kind of closing button, so here let's do that. So nav icon, nav content, and dot close btn, and here let's say that the position will be absolute, and the left side will be 10 pixel, and the top will be 10 pixel. So each will be somewhere here. So from the left 10, from the top 10. So after that the color will be, let's say that white. Whenever I'll do something like that, I think we need to give it a width and height. So width will be 40 pixel and height will be also 40 pixel. Now I can see my icon. So we need to do a background color here. So background color will be primary color, and also we need to display it as a flex, and align items will be center, and justify content will be center, and border radius will be 50%. If I do that, now as you can see that I have a background color and also border radius 50%. Also I need to change the width of this SVG, but right now it's okay. And make sure that here in the closing SVG, the stroke width is still I think we have 2. Where is the closing SVG? Yeah, this one is the closing button, and here is the stroke width, which is 2. We need to make it 1, and if I make it 1, I think it will look better. No, I think 2 was good. Yeah, let's actually keep it 2 right then. So after that let's say that the cursor will be pointer, and we can do a transition because I wanna change the background color of it. So for that we need to create a transition. So 0.3 second is background color. So background color, and we will change the background color on hover. So for that let's say that here, so before that let's actually decrease the size of this SVG inside of this button. So nav icon, nav content, and inside this close button I have the SVG, and the width will be 80%. And after that let's also change the color whenever I'll hover. So if I save, as you can see that the width is actually now 80%. So let's do the hover here. So nav content, and close button. So whenever I hover that, the background color will be crimson. So whenever I hover, as you can see that the background color is crimson, and we have the transition, as you can see whenever I am hovering. So that's it. That's it for our this closing button. It's looking good. And right now we need to hide this. Nav content, because in the default view we will not see this nav content. So to hide this nav content, let's get back to our nav content here. So here I need to say that transform translate x 100%. If I do that, I can't see it because now it is transform x minus, it's actually now transform x 100% means it is actually outside of the window in the right side, as you can see. After that, if I actually decrease that, means if I do something like 80% to show you, now as you can see that I can see remaining 20% because it's hiding the 80% of its width in the right side. So we can actually hide 100%, or if you want, you can actually make a little bit bigger, something like 105 pixel, 5%. Yeah, that's looking great. And after that, let's also do a transition here, because we will actually change the transform whenever I will activate the button here. So 0.3 second is and only from the transform. Yeah, that's looking great. And that's it actually. So all the other thing is looking good, and I think I can actually change this position of this nav icon. So let's say that height will be 20. Sorry, not height. Position here. The top will be 20. Yeah, it's looking much better, or we can use 30 here. Yeah, it's looking much better right now, I think. So that's it. Right now we have the nav content here, we have our nav icon. So after that, we need to actually activate these buttons. As you can see that we need to activate this button. So to activate these buttons, we need to create a JavaScript, because we will need JavaScript here. So let's create a JavaScript file. So create a new file and name it main.js. So if you don't know JavaScript, just it's not actually complicated. I will explain what I'm doing here. So first of all, we need to grab the icon. So let's say that constant hamburger menu is equals to, so document dot query selector, not query selector, we need to select the nav icon. So the nav icon, as you can see that this is the nav icon. So we need to select it, which is inside of my navigation. So let's say that inside of the navigation we have our nav icon. And after that, let's also select the nav content. So nav content is equals to document dot query selector, and we need to select the nav content with the ID. So that's it for our selection. We have nav content, we have our hamburger menu. So let's say that whenever I will click the hamburger menu, so let's create a event listener in our hamburger menu. So hamburger menu dot add event listener, and the event is actually click event. So whenever I click this hamburger menu, what I want to do, I want to run this function. So inside this function, what I need to do actually, I need to create or do something. So let's say that whenever I will actually click this, button, I will add a class in my nav content. So let's do that. So here let's say that nav content dot class list dot add show. So whenever I'll click, I will actually add this class on the nav content. So let's actually test it out here. So let's test it here. So here is the button, and whenever I will actually click this button in this nav content, notice this nav content, whenever I click that, nothing is happening. Okay, we have, oh sorry, we need to add this JavaScript file with this HTML first of all. So let's get back to our end of body. So before closing body tag, we need to add this script, which is the main.js. Now it should work. So whenever I will click now, as you can see that we have a new class show. So that's what we are doing. So let me actually show you one more time. So this is the nav content, and whenever I click this button right now, it will add this class here, as you can see. So that's the class which will allow us to hide our content here. So in our style.css right now, here as you can see that in our nav content, we can actually do one more style with this show class. So here let's say that nav content, if the nav content have a show class, I wanna transform it back. So here if you notice that, if you remember, we actually before transform this nav content outside of our window. Now we can actually get back it by translate x 0. So if I do that, it will actually go from 105 to the 0, means it will come back to our original screen. And also we can use a box shadow for it. So box shadow will be, so let's say that let me copy the box shadow. I will not write it here. So as you can see that this is the box shadow that we have, and if you notice that in here we have this box shadow. So let me actually show you one more time. So as you can see that in default we don't have it, but whenever I'll click this, now we have our menu here. So which is because now we have this show class, we can actually see it. So now we need to actually close this nav menu. So we can close this nav menu very similarly. We need to create a event listener for this close button. So first of all, we need to select the close button. So let's actually select it. So constant close nav button is equals to document dot query selector, and let's say that inside my nav content I have this close button. And now what I can do, I can actually add a event listener with this close button. So let's say that here whenever we will click the close button, so close nav button dot add event listener. So whenever I'll click this close, so the event will be click, and the function will be inside this function. I wanna remove this show class from our nav content. So copy this and paste it over here. So instead of adding this, I can remove the class. So now actually test it out here. So if I click, I have the menu. If I click close, I have my close button working right here. So now we have our nav menu which is working perfectly. This closing button is also working perfectly. We have this nice hover effect. Everything is working perfectly. And after that, what I want to show you, so if you notice that whenever I will actually click this, I have my nav content. But if you notice that I still can scroll my content behind this nav content. If you notice that, so behind this nav content, if you can notice, I can still scroll my web page. That's what we don't want. Whenever we will open our nav menu, we don't want our user to scroll the home page or the web page. So to remove that, what I can do here, so to remove that here, whenever I am actually adding this show class, I can say that in my document body, document.body.style.overflow will be the hidden. So if I do that, so what it will do actually, so if let me save it. So if I do that, what it will do, whenever I will actually open this, it will create a body overflow hidden. So let me actually show you here. If I go to the inspect style, so if you can see that here we have a style in our body. The style is overflow hidden, which will actually prevent us from scrolling. So if I close the button, still we can't scroll actually. So we need to remove this overflow hidden from our body whenever we close our nav icon. So for that I can copy this line and paste it after this height class. So here I'm saying that whenever I'll close my button, I need to change the body style overflow from hidden to auto, or you can use initial. So once I do, now if I open my nav icon, I can't scroll, but if I close my nav content or navigation menu, I can scroll. So that's what we have for this nav menu. As you can see that we have nav menu which is working perfectly fine, but right now it's not perfect, means it is not responsive. Show you. So in the mobile device, as you can see that it is not looking good. If I go to the iPhone X or something like that, it's not looking good. We don't want that in our mobile device. So let's actually do some responsive CSS here. So in the end of our navigation menu style here, so let's get a media query, media only screen and max width 768 pixel. So whenever I will go inside this range in the navigation, so we need to change the position of it. So navigation, everything is right will be 10 pixel and the top will be 10 pixel. So we are changing the position of it a little bit. So after that we need to change the after. So we don't want this after effect that we have, this outline effect that we have in our desktop. We don't want it in my mobile. So let's say that in the nav content nav ul li anchor tag, and we have before for that, and we just can say that display will be none for our mobile. And also we need to change the heading here. So nav content and section heading. So here in our section heading we should have a text alignment left, and also margin bottom will be 5 rem. So after that let's also do the style for our UL here. So nav content, right now the text link I think it's bigger, so nav UL, and let's say that text alignment will be the left, or I think we need to do it right what we have in our end product here. So if I do that, so it should be in the right side, sorry, everything will go in the right side. So text alignment in this section heading will be in the right. Also we need to change the outline text alignment, so content section heading, and this is the before, yeah, and the text alignment will be also right for it. So if I do that, now as you can see the text alignment right here, so also the text element right will be here. So everything now is in the right side, and we need to change the anchor tag width. So here nav content nav ULLIA, and here let's say that the font size will be 2.5 rem. Yeah, now as you can see that everything is looking perfect, and I think we can actually increase the nav content. If you want, you can do so. Nav content wrapper, the width will be 90%. So if I do that, it will go a little bit closer to the edge of our right side. Yeah, that's looking perfect. That's the perfect navigation bar that we have. So let me check the responsiveness. So as you can see that it's looking really nice. Yeah, that's what we have here. So I think we need to do the link here. So right now, let's say that for the home, it will be linked with the home section, not home, sorry, it will be linked with the hero section, and about will be linked to the about section, and projects will be linked with the project section. Testimonial will be linked with the same testimonial section, testimonial section. And let me check this testimonial. It is testimonial or testimonials project and about. So here is the stats, here is the testimonial. Yeah, testimonial singular. So great, then it's fully linked, and we need to link the contact letter, so we can keep the to do here, so that we can say that here link the contact page. Yeah, that's it. Let me check the link here. So if I go to the home, we are already in the home. If I go to the about projects, testimonial, we don't have contact yet, but if you notice that it's actually jumping from one section to another. We don't want that. So to have a smooth scroll, you can go to your HTML and say that scroll behavior will be the smooth. So if you do that, what it will do is it will create a smooth scroll whenever you will scroll inside of your web page. And here one more thing I need to do. So if I let's open my menu, and let's say that I want to go to the about section. If I click this about, I should go to the about section, and I can see that in behind we are in the about section. But it will be good if this nav content or this nav menu will close automatically whenever I will click one of the nav item. So it will be something like, so let me show you what I mean. So if I go to the end project here, so if I open my nav menu, and if I click one of the nav item, let's say the testimonial, if I click that, as you can see that this nav menu is closed automatically. So that's what I want. So if you want that, what I need to do, actually I need to go to my app.js or main.js here. I need to select all the nav icon, sorry, I need to select all the navigation item here, means all the anchor tag that we have. So let's select all the anchor tag that we have here. So let's say that constant and name it something like nav links, and select document dot query selector all. So query selector all this time, because we have multiple items that we need to select. So here let's say that nav content, obviously it should be the inside of my single quote or double quote. So after that, let's say that inside the nav I have li, inside the nav I have ul, and inside that I have li, and inside that I have the anchor tag. So it will select all the anchor tag that we have here. So after that, I need to actually loop through all the items that we have inside this nav links, because we have multiple items right now. So actually loop through inside these nav links. So nav links dot for each. So for each loop, and for each link, what I need to do, I need to add an event listener. So link dot add event listener, and this event will be the similar thing, which is the click event that we had before. And inside this function, means whenever I'll click this nav link, I will actually call this function, and here is a typo, this should be something like that. So whenever I click this, I will run this callback function, and inside this callback function, what I will do, I will do the similar thing that we did here whenever I click the close button. So here is the close button, and here what I did whenever I click the close button, so copy this all things and paste it here. So now it should be the same, means whenever I'll click one of the item here, it will close the nav content automatically, as you can see that. So that's what we want, and I hope this will be good for our user. Yeah, that's what we have. We have a nice menu here in our project, which is really attractive. So that's it, guys. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to share it with your friends and family. Also, if you want to watch more video like this one, please subscribe the channel, and also turn on the notification bell so that you can get notified whenever I will upload my next video. So my name is Arfan, and I will see you in the next video. Till then, bye bye, Khuda Hafiz.